Here's a camping hedgehog. Have an amazing day and enjoy the video. What's the most uncomfortable question you can ask someone? How come I wasn't invited? For extra cringe, ask this in a loud voice as you crash an ongoing party that you were not invited to. Bonus points if you start hyperventilate crying. When I was like 11 I actually did this. I had no idea why I wasn't invited and I convinced my parents that I got dropped off and actually started crying midway through because I was just wondering why I wasn't invited. I was not a good 11-year-old. I was once invited to a party at the end of which the hostess asked me, how do you keep finding out about these? That ducking stung. Never talked to them again. You set off a memory of being 14/15 and discovering my friends had a sleepover and they hadn't invited me. I was crushed. They did say it was because they thought my mum wouldn't let me go, which would have been true, but my poor teenage brain went straight to "you're a loser, no one wants you" mode. Weren't you pregnant? I ran into someone I hadn't seen since she was pregnant. Me, how's being a mom? Oh, I'm not. Edit. I'll never ask again. Edit 2. Hope all the parents who endured miscarriages and stillborn are in a better place now. My best friend had a miscarriage, a bad one. The twins were born too prematurely and passed away. I hope nobody said this to her. If they did, I would have pounded them. Once at a gathering, a friend whispered to me later, wasn't she pregnant last time I saw her? What happened? And I told him. Luckily he didn't say it to her face. I miscarried a few months ago shortly after telling everyone, and now it's an awkward conversation every time I see someone who knew when I'm out drinking. Where's my hug? I asked my then boyfriend this question when I was 19. He immediately looked shocked, looked over to the side, said, "Oh, there it is." Went over and hugged the air, then came back and hugged me. Lol, this gives me some flashbacks. After work on a Friday I was saying goodbye to one of my friends and I gave her a hug. Here comes Brett, hey, where's my hug? So I give him the biggest bear hug, the kind that traps their arms at their sides, and picked him up off the ground. There's your hug, Brett. My friend said he didn't ask much after that, but you bet your balls I'd tell Brett, hey Brett, I got your hug right here buddy, with outstretched arms. He would give me an uncomfortable look like, ooh gross. Yeah Brett, that's how you are making everyone feel. And on pregnant women, how far along she is. Ding ding. I have 2 Sarahs at my work. I heard one was pregnant. I congratulated the fatter women, who was just fat. Oh no. If you are good friends, they will tell you they are pregnant when they are ready. If you're not good friends, you should never ask. Really, the potential to hurt someone is way bigger than the benefit, which is usually just making conversation. This goes double for the workplace. You have to be subtle about it if you aren't sure. So when are you expecting? I'm not pregnant. This coronavirus thing to die down. Crazy times, Why does everyone hate you so much? I hate this one so much. I lived in a small town so everybody knew everybody. High school was rough. I didn't know how to stick up for myself and soon became the scapegoat for bullies and rumors. Once our senior year hit, people matured a little and started being nicer to me. I made a lot of friends suddenly and all of them would ask, why does everybody hate you? You're not like they say. It was awkward because most of those people were the ones contributing to the rumor/bullying. I don't know. Why did you? Gods, I wish I could go back in time and ask a few people that. I'm not sure if it counts, but if someone asks you, hey, can you move over a seat so I can be next to my friend? Especially if you thought the person asking you was your friend. Or hey, can I move to go sit next to my friends? That shit sucks. Along the same lines, when at parties with friends I was always asked to take pictures of people but no one ever asked to be in a pic with me. It stung. If you come in the back office with me right now, just you and me, are you gonna be cool about it or be a snitch? Asked by my old boss at a grocery store. He just was offering me shots of Fireball because it was almost closing time on New Year's Eve, but that phrasing sounded kinda fishy. At a job interview, do I have to do a drug test? You do now. I actually asked this question once, and I was told if we tested everybody we wouldn't have enough employees. LMAO. Are we still friends? Or, who's your best friend? Especially when one of your friends asks it. Takes me back to when my best friend casually started talking about how much she wished she had a best friend. Have you seen our toothbrush? Doctor, in front of parents, are you sexually active? Now that's when you start bragging, haha. Your dad fist bumps you when your mom isn't looking. Did you bathe properly today? This is a conversation I had to have with a coworker once. His smell was very distracting for everyone in the office. Guy's wife had died, and he just sort of stopped taking care of himself afterward. A couple of us got him set up with a therapist. He left the company shortly after for a less stressful job, but I saw on FB a while later the guy's doing much better. Just have a casual conversation about anything, corona, politics, grandparents, and ask immediately afterwards, anyway, how's your sex life? The room has taught me a lot about life. Haha, what a story, Mark. Are you uncomfortable? If they say no, then you should reply with, do you want me to make you uncomfortable? While unbuckling your belt. Then when they panic and say no, you take off your belt and put a new one on. Why are you so quiet? This makes my blood boil. I'm a fairly quiet person in social settings and have received this question a few times. It makes you and the people around you feel awkward. Like, let people be quiet if they want to be. Not everyone is a social butterfly. Me starts speaking, gets interrupted repeatedly. Why are you so quiet? Is it in yet? I was starting an IV on a patient. She said something like, I was going to ask you if it was in yet. I didn't even feel it. I wanted to say something like, normally this is the worst thing for a man to hear so bad. But yeah, no, professionalism. You'll feel a little prick. Depends on the person. For a lot of women, it's so when, are you guys going to have a baby? I literally had to tell my mother-in-law that we are trying and that we haven't used protection for some time now. Embarrassed her enough to back off the topic forever. She's very old school. I've been ejaculating massive loads of cement into your daughter's vajayjay for several months now. The way to combat an awkward question is to provide an even more awkward answer. Best of luck to you too, by the way. To the gay couple, which one of you is the girl/boy? Actually, we are both the boy. It makes being in a lesbian relationship rather confusing. When two gay men have sex, how do they know whose Venus will open up to accept the other person's Venus? Can you tell me something about yourself? Yep. If it's not in a professional setting, my go-to is I have 3 nipples. Depending on their response, it's either a great conversation starter to break the ice, or we wouldn't get along well anyway. What do you think of me? Whenever someone says this to me, I'm always so puzzled and awkward about the whole thing. What do you want me to say? Well, there's the divide. Many people ask the question more implying, tell me something that will make me feel you're sincere, but will flatter me, versus tell me what you literally think. People like to be valued but not measured, seen but not observed, heard but not scrutinized, understood in the moment, but not understood in totality. The former makes them feel significant, the latter reduced. I once had a stranger tell me I saw that, and I was like, saw what? You were checking out that girl. I honestly had no clue what he was talking about because I seriously wasn't checking out anyone, but he kept insisting that I was, and that I should stop denying it. The dude was like 40. What the duck was his problem? Ducking embarrassing man. You don't have to lie. Why are you getting mad? Only guilty people get defensive. That is not correct. I'm getting pissed because you're accusing me of something I didn't do. You duck. No. Where are you actually from? West Philadelphia. Born and raised. Ugh. I had this asked to me when I visited Wisconsin for a wedding. I'm Asian, and when I said I'm from California they asked me that exact question. I just stared at them without responding, shook my head, and walked away. Not like I'm going to see that random airport stranger again. Once, back in college, when meeting my then girlfriend's parents for the first time, her dad greets me with a handshake. Nothing odd about that at all. Then, in mid-shake he says, "So you're the guy ducking my daughter?" I was genuinely rendered speechless. I'm a firm believer in equal partnership. So to be fair, sir, your daughter and I are ducking each other. What kind of debt are you in? The Mayfair are currently fighting a turf war over the collection of said debt. It's made me pretty popular. Do you think your friends ever regret meeting you? Not generally, no. Friendship is largely optional on their part. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is why I hate interviews. I don't even see myself doing anything in an hour and they think I have 5 years planned already. WTF. Say, I see myself with your job. Total mad lad move. Said something similar and ended up with their position in under a year and a half. Found out why it was so easily attainable. It was a nightmare. Hey, we need to talk. This is the worst, especially over text. My boss texted me the other day, call me. My blood turned to ice. Of course it ended up being some inconsequential thing he had a question about. I hate when they don't give a reason, and I learned the hard way. My roommate sent me that call me text while I was at work. Usually, it meant he got good weed, so I just ignored it. Came home at 2 AM to find my dog wrapped in bandages with a cone on his neck. Do you have a sister by chance? Would you settle for a brother? Would you settle for me? Why does no one love me? Well, have you tried paying them? With my kindness? And dollars? On a scale of 1 to 10, how pretty do you think you are? It's bad because if you give yourself a high score they'll assume that you're egotistical, and if you give yourself a low score they'll either assume that you're insecure or that you're fishing for compliments. Everyone always answers this with 7. I say 7 if the person asking is hot, 6 if they're not. I'm a 6 in case you're curious. Well, apparently it's taboo to talk about how much money you make or anything about your financial situation, unless you're really rich, so that seems to make people pretty uncomfortable, in the US at least. Honestly, I don't get this. I'm super open about my financial situation. Granted, it's pretty easy to explain. Same, I currently make zero monies as a student. Why is that clown following you? He's my boyfriend. Why do you have cut marks on your arm? Cat got me. That cat makes some surprisingly parallel scratches. Yeah, she's a bit of a neat freak. Have you ever considered plastic surgery? That's just insulting.